Hello friends, Enzo here, and I want to present to you this guitar. It's a guitar from Thomann. The official name is Thomann Gypsy Nylon CE, and it's a nylon string guitar, as you could tell. Pretty much the entire guitar is made out of what they call laminated pine, which gives a very special feel texture while you play it. And there's some special features about it that I want to point out. Hopefully you can, if you're looking into this instrument, you could decide if this review can help you decide if it is for you. All the specs are at the Thomann website. This is not branded Harley Benton, but rather branded Thomann. And it's a very special guitar because the sound hole is an oval shape sound hole. The body is thin, which makes it very comfortable to play for extended periods of time. And it has a preamp system with a 1/4 inch and also an XLR output, which actually sounds very good. So just hear this preamp. The guitar has a very, very beautiful sound. The price that they sell it for currently is 170 US dollars, I believe. And you can buy a B-stock for a little bit less money than that. Now, just want to tell you my opinion part by part and then overall at the end of the video. So starting by the parts, and let's go into the headstock. Tuners. You have very basic tuners for nylon strings. They do the job, they work. They are basically what you would expect for this price point. They're not super accurate, and it's a little bit of a struggle to tune the guitar. And I have to tune it every time I play, which is kind of like what I would expect from this price level of guitar. So you're basically getting what you pay for there. It came with of decent quality nylon strings. I think they tell you on the website what type of nylon strings they're putting in this. A lot of times they do. Let me see. Do they tell you? No, they don't. But the strings are fairly decent, you know. Very good balanced sound. What else to say? Okay, so they tell you that the nut. Do they tell you if the nut is a bone nut? No, they don't. But in my opinion, it really looks like a bone nut. I would bet that it is a bone nut. Totally does, which adds something to the sound of the guitar. The material again is laminated pine. Of the top, the sides are sapel, laminated sapel, and the neck is supposedly African mahogany. It feels really, really, really nice. The neck is actually it's a wide neck, like a classical guitar, but it's also very chunky, you know, very thick. And that's very special. I have to say straight up, if you're used to electric guitar, especially a Telecaster or even a Stratocaster or thin guitars, neck guitars, this is going to feel like a really thick baseball bat. And not even the baseball bat at the end, but actually at the top of the baseball bat. This is very thick. It's wide and it's thick, and it's not for everybody. This would feel thick for a classical guitar player, to be honest. What that does, in my experience, it makes the sound actually warmer, which actually complements very well for a thin body that doesn't have much bass projection. So it balances the sound quite nicely. I would say that the finish is like an open pore, extremely thin type of I don't know, like oil or something like that. And it's very nice. I really enjoy feeling the texture of this guitar. It's like a naked instrument. Very much appreciated. What else about this preamp? The preamp in this guitar is actually very good sounding. Let me play with it a little bit so you can hear. So here goes the bass, all the way up. Still within usable range. All the way down the bass. Okay, not much to say. I'm gonna bring the mid up, all the way up. That makes it sound pretty ugly. The way down. Actually, that helped the sound of the guitar, at least on my setup right here. And so on. I'm not going to try the treble. But I have to say just that the sound of this guitar plugged in, everything in the center is very pleasant, plugged in. The unplugged sound, I'm going to try a little bit with this microphone. Yeah, so that being said, what else is there to say about this guitar? Beautiful rosette finish. It's like a laser edge rosette. It's just very nice. Yeah, all the details in this guitar are very good. In reality, you're getting a fantastic bang for your buck in this instrument. Ultimately, the saddle bridge is got, I think this is a plastic piece. I don't really know. I cannot tell you because I have not pulled it out. It does look plastic to me. Now, it would not make sense to put a bone nut here and not put a bone saddle. So right, they tell you it's laser rosette. It's good. They call it natural open pore finish. Again, super nice. I love it. I think it helps with the sound a lot. But it's a more delicate guitar to use, I have to say as well, because you can chip it away. And I have actually chipped this one a tiny bit here and there, just right here. Last thoughts about this guitar. Well, it's made in Portugal. And it has a very nice finish. Now, don't kid yourself. You are not getting for this instrument. It's not like you're getting like a much more expensive guitar. You know, I would say for this price point, basically what you would pay in the U.S. is $170 plus $230 worth of ship, $60, $70 shipping. It's gonna come up to a little bit less than $250. Is this guitar worth the $250? I would say absolutely yes. Compared to other guitars, especially compared to to get something equivalent in the market, at least here in the United States, you need to go into the used market and get something, a little bit, a little bit on the upper 500 range. Used maybe for $300, and you could get something perhaps even a little bit better than this. Now, where can I see this guitar improve? What do I think is lacking in this instrument? Well, I have to say that I don't know if it's the intonation, but it sounds very good right now. See if you can catch it. I hear it right there. Right. So the intonation in this instrument it needs some compensation. Maybe putting a compensated saddle would help. Maybe something else would help. But the intonation in this instrument it's a little bit less than perfect. It's still usable. Can you hear how sour that chord is? Still within the usable range. But another thing that you might want to consider in this instrument, it does not have a truss rod. And yes, in the classical tradition, you do not put truss rods in the necks of the guitars. But I believe, in my opinion, and I'm very conservative when it comes to nylon, well, yes and no. I really like to have a truss rod because I don't care what people say. Over time, the guitar will change. This section right here, if your guitar matures properly, it's gonna come off a little bit, and it's gonna create protuberance on this side of the instrument, and then the neck pitch will change ever so slightly over time. That is considering that you will take perfect care of that guitar, which is often not the case. So you will need a truss rod to adjust the guitar's neck in order to have a nice, comfortable action. At least for me, I really like a low action. That being said, for me, it's almost a deal. It's a killer to not have a truss rod in a nylon guitar or any guitar, period, in the long haul. As of right now, this guitar plays fairly decently. It is basically a killer not to have a truss rod in this guitar. I don't know for how long it will remain playable, probably quite a few years. Then you have to take it to somebody that would really help you improve it, but it's never going to be quite the same as it was brand new. All that being said, for my taste, I really like a low action guitar, even on a nylon string guitar. More like a gypsy type of guitar. And this being branded gypsy, the action is not low enough for it to have enough of that percussion. You can make it work though. So those two things to bear in mind. Beautiful finish, impressive, very impressive. Made in Portugal. Okay, is lifting the name of Portugal-made instruments just by trying this so cheap and working so well. By the way, the frets are just perfect. There's nothing to complain about that. There's no fretting. And no fret sprout at all whatsoever. So bear in mind, the tuners, are basically what you would expect for a guitar of this price point. The neck is very thick, not only just wide, 2 millimeters wide, but it's also a very thick neck. And in my experience, I like to have something like this because it really forces my hand to get used to it. And when I play then an electric guitar and whatnot, it just becomes so much more easy. I'm constantly alternated between nylon, steel string guitars, and different type of electric guitars. So I like to have that ability to move between different necks. They give me different feel, and I play differently depending on the neck profile. And sometimes it's just about my mood, you know. Sometimes I want to feel different type of neck. So I really enjoy this neck, but I don't feel like playing it every day. Sometimes I don't want to play it. It feels too forceful. And sometimes I love to play it, you know. It feels like a great exercise. So bear that in mind. Very thick neck, not for everybody. Tuners, you know, okay, this is the weakest point of this guitar in terms of quality is the tuners. And finally, no truss rod. So if you buy this guitar, you know, consider it not a lifelong investment. It could be for a long time, you know, especially given how unique this design is. You know, thin line, XLR output, oval shape, sound hole, special thick neck profile. All of these things amount to a very special guitar, very special design, open port finish, natural finish. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful. I really love this instrument. Intonation then is a flaw. I believe it could be improved maybe with the compensated saddle, but that's to be seen. I do not know how to do that for a nylon guitar, other than just buying a generic compensated saddle and installing it. But I'm not sure that would actually improve the intonation. And yeah, so the pluses are like, besides the intonation, this instrument is just fantastic. The actual acoustic sound that's not plugged in, my opinion, is okay. It's okay for practice. It's okay for being in the couch and just like jamming away. Definitely not going to be good enough for a concert. It's not going to be good enough for like a really, you know, an acoustic setup where you have all the instruments. But it's going to be a little bit thin, a little bit lacking of bass projection. But those are things that you have to be willing to compromise because of the laws of physics and how sound travels and the type of guitar body that you need to have in order to project bass. I think the thick neck helps balance it out. I would also say that the choice of wood does not necessarily help this instrument project a pleasant tone. I think sapel and pine is a very unusual combination. I would have liked more a mahogany type of construction for this instrument, but again, that also makes it special and unique. So overall, I would say this instrument is a great purchase for a beginner or somebody that is an intermediate or advanced player and wants something like a kick-around guitar. That's what I got it for, you know, just to have it always available so I can play at all times. It's not my favorite guitar. There's much better instruments. In a way, you're getting what you pay for in terms of quality at the $250 price range. But you're getting a lot more in terms of design, and the preamp sounds really beautiful. So it's a thumbs up, especially if you like the design. I hope this review helps you if you're looking into this guitar, and thank you.